How's it going, everyone? It's that time again where we gotta talk about the PlayStation Plus games leaving the service. I know you guys love to hear about that. We'll go over the games that are confirmed to be leaving next week. On top of that, there's some speculation on some titles that'll be leaving in February of 2025, next month, so we'll go over that, and we'll end the video on a bit of a high note as the PlayStation Plus monthly titles for the month of January are rolling out right now for Essential subscribers, so you can check those out. I know all of you guys are looking to dive into your playthrough of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Don't worry, the online servers are not shut down. It is just the updates for the game are ending. I think there's a lot of confusion as far as what's going on with Suicide Squad, so we'll talk that at the end of this video because that is one of the most iconic games of this generation. It's going to be received as one of the best games of this generation, and really it is a standard bearer for PlayStation 5 titles that every developer can aspire to. I love $70 games, I love fake early access, and I love battle passes, you guys, but we'll get to that at the end of this video. Alright, first up, all departing on Tuesday, January the 14th, Resident Evil 2. Awesome game. If you're one of the 4 people that haven't played that game, do a playthrough of that. You can beat that game in a couple of sittings, so jump on that. Hard Space, Shipbreaker, Just Cause 3, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, Legend of Mana, Secret of Mana, so once again, the Square Enix purge kind of continues. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Life is Strange, Before the Storm, Life is Strange, Just Cause 4, and Pure Hold'em. Honestly, for the monthly games that are rolling out of the service, this isn't that insane of like a departure. Like, we've seen some insane months where like the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise was eliminated, all of the classic Final Fantasies were eliminated. This is, you know, it's not great. It's not ideal seeing Resident Evil 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Just Cause 4, you know, games of that level leaving the service, but hopefully January will pave the way for some new games getting added into the service that are worthwhile. I actually thought that some of the Plus editions recently have been okay. I feel like we ended the year like not at a terrible place for PlayStation Plus Extra. Like last month, we did get the addition of Sonic Frontiers. That was kind of nice, but outside of Sonic Frontiers, it was kind of mid. I ain't gonna lie. Like Forspoken, my guys, oh my god. Fist Forge and Shadow Torch was nice, but that's a game that was a PlayStation Plus Essential title. November was a legit good month. November, I would say, was a month people were satisfied with, and October was decent as well with Dead Island 2, but November with Dying Light 2, Like a Dragon Ishin, Grand Theft Auto 5, Digimon Survive, like that's a good month. If we can get more Novembers and less Decembers, even as much as I like Sonic Frontiers, it's only one game. With November, you had a variety and quality at that. Dying Light 2, Like a Dragon Ishin, and Digimon Survive, and GTA just comes in and out, so I'm not really counting that, but those 3 games, I'm like, yo, okay, that's value, whereas in December, Sonic Frontiers and Forspoken. Like, Forspoken's pretty terrible, and Sonic Frontiers is great, but just one game. I like to see some depth, you know, maybe 2 to 3 top level, well-received games. Like, I would put Dying Light 2 and Like a Dragon Ishin, and even Digimon Survive almost in that category, and you have GTA 5 in there as well, whereas in December you only had 1. But hopefully we get a month like November at least in January, and hopefully they kick off the year well, because let's be real, they didn't kick off the year that well when it came to PlayStation Plus Essential. But we'll get to that. Again, to reiterate, the Plus games leaving next week. That's 1 week from today. Resident Evil 2, Hard Space, Shipbreaker, Just Cause 3, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, Legend of Mana, Secret of Mana, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Life is Strange, Before the Storm, Life is Strange, Just Cause 4, and Pure Hold'em. Life is Strange, not a bad title as well. You know, I enjoyed Life is Strange for what it's worth. Okay, couple of other notes. As noted on PlayStation Lifestyle, couple of games expected to leave PS Plus Extra and Premium in 2025, in February of 2025. The Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition, which did drop in February of 24 for PS Plus Extra. So if you want to play through the Outer Worlds, especially Outer Worlds 2 coming out later this year, you might want to get a jump on that. That game is not super lengthy, but you know, having a little bit of time, a month and change, would be a good time to check that game out. On top of that, EA titles are usually added for a 6-month window, and Wild Hearts is expected to leave the service. That's Wild Hearts. That was a part of EA's Originals program, kind of a Monster Hunter clone. I liked Wild Hearts. I thought that game was kind of underrated. Not as good as Monster Hunter, but still decent. Square Enix's Outriders potentially leaving the service as well, and that's another game that could be leaving the service, unfortunately. If you do want to check that out, and there's some other titles like Scarlet Nexus and Bandai Namco's Tales of games that could potentially leave, but the one that's really likely is Outer Worlds as well as Wild Hearts, so be mindful of that probably in February. Lastly, the January PS Plus Essential titles are rolling out as I am recording this video. You do have the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. You do have Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, which Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is a great game. I played that back in 2010 when it came out, and I loved it as an arcade racer. I thought it was fantastic. At this point, like 15 years later, it's gonna be a little dated, and the remastered release, not much remastered about it. There's some jankiness going on with that game as well, but obviously, the game that got the most attention for the January lineup is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I think as good as Stanley Parable and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit are, Sony must have known that Suicide Squad was going to get the bulk of the attention, and probably not for the right reasons. Most people at best have a morbid curiosity for Suicide Squad. Like, how did this game come out from one of the most beloved studios of all time in Rocksteady, a studio that had done phenomenal games like the Batman Arkham Trilogy, 9 years away from releasing a new game, and the pile of trash that they dropped with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And I'll always say, pile of trash for Suicide Squad is probably a little bit too strong. It's a pile of trash relative to what Rocksteady has done in the past. And guess what? If Warner Brothers wants to promote Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League as a game from the creators of Batman Arkham, that is literally the verbiage they use to promote this game, then I'm gonna compare it to the games that Rocksteady released in the Batman Arkham series, and it's a pile of trash compared to that. Is it an open world game that you can have some nonsensical fun with, where you can kind of tune out the story, listen to a podcast at the same time? Sure, and it'll offer you a solid 9 hours of nonsensical mayhem, I guess, if you want to refer to it like that. When this game launched, it was also online only. An atrocity, absolutely inexcusable. You want to know why it's online only? Because this game is a live service title, and they want to promote you the Battle Pass. They want to promote you X microtransactions available. Your $70 was not enough. Your $100 for the deluxe edition for fake early access, that was not enough. They needed to keep the game always online so they could throw those ads at you, try to get you to spend money on the microtransactions. Oh, and by the way, the online servers when they launched weren't great. I was literally in the middle of a boss fight. The online servers went down, kicked out of the game, had to redo the entire boss fight, and the boss fight wasn't a well-designed one. I was legitimately fuming when that happened, and I was literally at the tail end of the boss fight. It was ridiculous. Why isn't there not to be a broken record, we know why there wasn't an offline mode at launch. Like, again, it's to promote you to buy the microtransaction, but there is an offline component available now, so if you do want to play the game offline and don't have to worry about the servers, that option is available. On top of that, the game will be ceasing updates coming out. The game's online servers are not shutting down as of yet. They probably will in the future, but not anytime in the near future. They are just shutting down or ending service updates for the game. It had its 1-year cycle. They kind of committed to the 5 seasons or whatever it was, and now that's over. It's time to bury this game, move on to whatever they're gonna do next. Hopefully it is a Batman Arkham game. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a return to form. At this point, they've kind of nuked all their goodwill. However, if tomorrow Rocksteady announces, oh, we're doing a new Batman Arkham game, people will be inherently interested in that game. They'll revitalize a lot of the goodwill. Just step away from the live service trash that you tried with Suicide Squad. It was a pile of trash. I don't care if it was Warner Brothers' decision. I don't care if it was Rocksteady's decision. Whoever made the call as far as going this route, you know, it was terrible. It was terrible. I get what you guys were doing. Sony's doing the same thing with their live service games. It is what it is, but now we gotta move on. We gotta return to form, but it is available as a Plus title. I feel like anytime I talk about Suicide Squad, I get on an unhinged rant because that game is infuriating. You're talking about one of the absolute greatest studios of my time as a teenager, like growing up, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. That 6-year stretch was fantastic. It was much like that Naughty Dog stretch with Uncharted 1 through 3 into Last of Us. Also a phenomenal stretch of games. BioWare as well, and you could make an argument that all of those studios are washed. It is what it is. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. We rounded up the games that are leaving the service, ones that potentially might leave next month, and then also for Essential subscribers, the new ones rolling out right now. That'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.